Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I'm going to teach you how to gear like a pro using the Raid Optimizer. So 2 years ago, we launched the Hell Hades Optimizer and honestly couldn't believe the community feedback. 1 year ago, or in January last year, I released this video here and I called it the biggest Raid update ever. Obviously, some people had to go at me for clickbait on that one. Apologies. But basically, I was talking about us launching the team suggestion part of the team optimizer within the optimizer, and I said optimizer 10 times. So today what I'm going to do is teach you how to use the optimizer as well as possible. I'm just going to throw a couple of fun stats at you. We've now got 170,000 members on hellhades.com, totally free, that use the optimizer. Last month, we had over 100,000 optimizations with the optimizer for gearing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's very cool. It's way beyond what we ever expected it to be. And we're kind of so chuffed that so many people use it on like a day-to-day basis to help them gear their champions. We're also really sorry that we cannot implement it for mobile. We really want to. Yeah, some people are like, when are you going to do mobile? We'd love to do it tomorrow. But unfortunately, it's just not in our capability of doing it. We'd have to have jailbreak. We'd have to jailbreak your devices. We'd have to get agreements with Apple and Play Store and all that sort of stuff. Raid would have to give us like backdoor entry. Like all of these different things would have to happen, which just aren't going to happen. So we're just not capable of doing it. But for those people that are using a PC or a Mac, you 100% can use this for free today. I'm going to show you how. So this is going to be a bit of a deep dive video. I will bookmark different sections along the bottom if you just want to skip to different points. But ultimately, you need to be a member of hellhades.com to be able to use the optimizer tool. Membership setup is here. It is free to do, but you do have to be even a free member. If you become an uncommon or higher member, and it literally everything unlocks at uncommon, you get some perks on the optimizer as well. But other than that, everyone who is common can do it for free. Just need to come to hellhades.com. Once you are then a member, you go to the optimizer page and you're able to download the installer. You can download it for Windows or you can download it for Macs. Okay, you can do both, but unfortunately not mobile. So once you've installed it, you'll get this little artifact extractor, which you can put a short link to on your homepage or whatever. Double click that and it'll give you this box. This box is your login to the optimizer. You have to use this. You have to have Raid open on Plarium Play. Not BlueStacks, not LD Player, not anything else. It has to be Plarium Play. Then you hit upload to website and it'll give you a fresh snapshot of your account right now. Yeah, so if anything changes on your account from when you hit that button, you can live refresh and it will kind of re-update the optimizer page. But as of right now, I've taken a snapshot of all of my champions and all of my gear. I'll take you through a couple of the pages. The main one I'm going to focus on is champions and team optimizer, but I'll take you through all the pages quickly. The champions page, I can search through all the champions I own. I can see what blessing they've got on them. I can see if they've got a plus rating. I can see their stats, everything like that. I can lock my champions with this padlock on the right. Multiple levels of locking is available if you turn it on in account settings. So I could go for enable advanced locking in my account settings. That way I can say all of my tier 5 locks, I never want to touch their gear. But some of my tier 4s, I might allow myself to touch their gear for certain optimizations. Team tier 3, go for your luck, you know, whatever you want to do. But it might be your tier 5 is clan boss, your tier 4 is your arena team, your tier 3 is your dungeon teams, whatever. But different locking so that you can kind of just adjust how valuable that champion kind of setup is to you. On this same page, you can filter by pretty much anything you want in the game, including some really cool stuff, actually. So I can do stuff like, let's say we got this dragon tournament going on right now where you can only have certain factions. You can pick out the factions from here. So I could be like, oh yeah, I only want to do Sylvan Watchers, Shadowkin and Dwarves. What have I got for that? Yeah, and whatever you want to do, really. So this little button here is actually very cool. You can just be like, right, I need to find someone on my team that does bombs. Yeah, and you'd be like, bam, all of my bomb champions pop up. Yeah, pretty much anything in the game you can just find. Oh, I need someone who's going to do decrease accuracy, whatever. all of those different things. We don't have it anywhere else on our website, whatever. It's a really cool find. You'd also do which champions have actually only got partial masteries. Where do I need to kind of make sure I finish off my masteries on someone, or full masteries, whatever. You can do things like which champions have got certain auras, whatever. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to kind of just filter out champions that you're trying to find. So if I go onto the main artifacts page then, if you've got the uncommon, you get this kind of artifact rating. You've got you basically got the top word is what they're rated right now, that piece. And the bottom word is what they could be if they rolled the best possible last substats. It's certainly not foolproof. It's a decent guide. And you can be like, you know, is this piece rated well? What it's actually doing, me and Saf pulled together a kind of like an algorithm in the background to say, what stats do we want on pieces of gear for certain sets? And if it rolls those stats, you get elevated points. Basically, all of those points get added together, and then you get a rating for a piece of gear. However, if you know that you want something different out of your piece of gear, then you need to use your own brain, because this is only a guide. It's very difficult to get an algorithm which takes in all, you know, everything. Yeah, which takes everything into account. It's very difficult, and we've kind of done our best, but it's quite a useful thing. But same sort of thing here. So you can do a bunch of filtering on here. You can filter. Let me just reset everything. I could say, show me all of my quad rolls on my account. Every quad roll I've ever got in 3 years. This is it. And you could be like, right, should I be using my Chaos Ore on one of these? Like, for example, this shield here, if I cared about it enough, I've got a quad roll in defense percent. Probably doesn't mean a lot to me in this particular set. Should I try and re-roll it and get something more like this bad boy here with a quad roll in crit rate? Yeah, and you can basically you can do whatever you want. So if you're looking for somewhere to use your Chaos Ore, then, you know, like trips in speed gear, you might be like, well, have I got any trips in speed gear? Well, I could re-roll and try and get a triple speed, for example. You could do the same sort of thing with stuff like banners. Yeah, so you could be like, right, show me all my banners where I've had a triple roll, and should I be re-rolling any of that stuff? So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do in artifact filtering as well. You could say, order it by speed. Yes, it's obviously going to show boots at the top, but once you get past the boots, I got a lot of boots, it will then show you your fastest items that you've got. Yeah, so if you're just looking for, if you want to kind of eyeball a build yourself, you can kind of get whatever you want from, you know, just order by. You can say, show me the fastest, but then also in second spot, most accuracy. Yeah, so I could be like, right, what's my fastest boots with a lot of accuracy on it, for example. And just for anyone who wants to, we've also added in here now the Ascension rank. So you can see something's popped up. That's because I've just earned that whilst I'm doing this. My Dragon team has literally just found this piece. So it goes up there and you can decide if you're going to keep it or not. But yeah, Ascension rating is in here as well now. So let's go on to the Teams tab. This is going to get a massive update in the new year. But basically this will show you your last used team in certain areas of the game. So if you wanted to share that with someone else, there's a sharing link. You could just share it with a friend and you'd be like, here's all my teams. And in Team Optimiser, this was the big update from 2022. So basically what we can do here is we can look at other people that use the Optimiser. What are their best teams and can you build them yourself? So again, reset is your friend. Reset gets you back to nothing. And I could be like, right, what's the best clan boss team I could build? Where's clan boss? Right at the top. What's the best clan boss team I could build based on what other people do? Hit suggest team and it throws it out. It's like, right, the best team, Hell Hades, that you could build based on what other people are doing is this team at the top. Yeah, and it will tell you how many variations of the team it's got, how many battles have been run with those variations, and what's the average of damage. Yeah, and if you go into view variations, it will then tell you for each variation their individual stats. So actually this top one here has hit over 400 million damage, and it will tell you the speeds of all the champions. If you're a premium user, you can then hit full view details, and it'll give you literally a full breakdown of everything. Yeah, their speeds, their accuracy, the gear sets they're using, the accessories they're using if they're special. It will tell you the full mastery breakdown as well. And then It will also show you, if you hit show all at the bottom here, the setup they're using if they're going full auto. Yeah, so you can see what skills are being turned off and what skills are being used. You can see if skills are fully booked, all that type of stuff. So it's literally like a full breakdown of the team. You could then say copy to Optimiser, and it will copy across the champions and all of the speeds and accuracy that they need, but not any other stats or gear sets, because for some of those builds, you might just be like, well, I want to choose my own. Yeah, but the speed and accuracy will copy across with the champions. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few different commonly used optimizations here to improve your gearing. First one we're going to do is a damage dealer. Yeah, so we go into a damage dealer Cupidus here. If they're not already a level 60, but I want to pretend they are, I could say max. Let's find someone who's not a 60, actually. Select champion. Must have another Cupidus somewhere. Cupidus is my favorite champ. I could say champion to max level, and it'll pretend that he's a level 60. Yeah, and max ascension as well. Like I'm pretending all of these things are maxed. Max my gear. Like all of these things are now pretending that it's happening. Let's go back into the big boy one. So if I want to go for damage, you've got a few options here. Quick mode. This is if you've got no idea how to use the optimizer. I would suggest you don't use this mode once you've watched this video, because you will not get the best result. If you've got a GPU in your PC, you should use GPU Optimizer. It's way stronger than the improved brute force. But if you don't, you can use the brute force and it's still usable. We've got quick mode. Don't really use it unless you don't know how to do it. Balance mode is generally if you're looking to go for one stat or a couple of stats hard. Like if I want speed and accuracy, I'd use balanced. Damage mode, it is what it is. Yeah, if you want to find your best damage build, this is it. Survival mode is if you want someone to be the best tank they can possibly be. So we go to damage mode. You can choose here what skill you want to do your damage on. This is important for some champions. So if I want Cupidus to be an A1 damage dealer, I keep it where it is. Yeah. We then go into configure. And in configure, we're saying, do we want to include equipped artifacts? Yes or no? Do we want to include all artifacts, even if they're on locked champions? Yes or no? Do we want to include artifacts on locked champions? And then remember the toggle I said about the padlocks? I can then say exclude only priority 5. Yeah, so only exclude priority 5. Everyone else is fair game for this build. Here's all the masteries that are currently on the champion. I could say, well, what I'm going to do is actually remove the crit rate and put that into attack instead. Yeah, I can make some decisions here before I actually change things in game, which is cool as well. So you can change up masteries if you want to. It doesn't change anything in game. It just allows you to pick before you make those costly changes, what your best builds would be. We then go into the battle. You can decide what you're doing here. So am I fighting a champion or a boss? What level will they be? What sort of defense are they going to have? So if I'm assuming here that Cupidus is fighting the arena, I would say champion, level 60, target defense, something like 3,500. This is all default. Target HP 60k. If you're playing at plat level, you might be like, nah, hold on a minute. Everyone I fight is 120k. Yeah, and everyone's defense is 4.2. Yeah, if you're fighting a boss, let's say we want to fight the Hydra, the target level might be 300. The target's defense might be 5.5k, and the HP might be millions. I don't know what the numbers are, but you can basically input that data yourself if you want to. You can also do like what debuffs and buffs are on the enemy. So you could say, yeah, the enemy's always going to have increased defense. So therefore it knows to multiply this defense number up. You could say the enemy's always got decreased defense because you know that your team's going to have that. And that does make a bit of a difference to the builds. Yeah, you can also tell it things like, I'm always going to have a crit rate buff, for example. So if you go in here, put the crit rate buff on wherever it is. That one. And it will know not to give you 100% crit rate. It will actually give you 70 if you put this on. Yeah, we then go into the battle. The stats. And we say, right, what are we looking for? If you've already built this champion before and you're premium, it will remember what you did before. Okay, but we could say, well, actually, we want a 160 speed Cupidus. I want at least 200 accuracy on the build to make sure that I've got enough to land my debuffs. And other than that, If I did nothing else, it would just find me my build now, which hits the hardest. Yeah, nothing else is a requirement. You could say, give me at least 40k health if I want to stay alive. But honestly, less is more on this page. Less is more. Only the things that are critical to you. If you're putting a minimum in here, don't put a maximum unless there is a maximum. Like, don't do 160 to 200. It doesn't need it. It will just find you the best build at 160 if you put 160 in. You do not need to always put mins and maxes. The more you put in down mins and maxes across the board, the worse build you're going to get. Let it do its job. You then got sets. Now, if I'm going for a full damage build, I can just hit reset here and say, find me the best damage build out of all my gear. It will know that Savage does more damage than normal gear. It knows about Cruel. It knows about Fatal, Lethal. All those sets, it knows. You don't need to tell it. Okay? Not for damage. If there's a specific reason that you need a set, you might be an earlier game player and be like, well, I have to run Lifesteal. Then do that there. That's the only time you do it. If it's like, I need this set. I need Stalwart set. I need Defiant gear. Like, whatever that is, fine. Otherwise, let it do its job. You can go into glyphs, and I think for most users, the best thing to do is to say basic glyphs and assume that you know what you've got in glyphs. Assume that I can add +2 to any piece. Assume that I can add +3% attack for any piece. You know what glyphs you've got, but this is what it's doing. I would avoid using the kind of minuscule ones in between. Up to you, though. I could say assume I've got 2% HP and assume that I've got accuracy glyphs that can give me at least a +10 everywhere. Yeah, this will now do it for the whole build. Hit optimize, hit start. The search limiter you can play around with. If it's on 50, it will find stuff quick. If it's on 100, it will search for the longest possible time to find you the best thing it can find. I would advise most people keep it to 50 unless you've got tons of time or unless you are looking for something like really niche. It tells you a breakdown of all the things you've selected here. So if you ever have any problems, just have a look, read through this and be like, I'm actually asking it to include items only level 8 and above. And I don't have anything rolled. So you might want to readjust that. Yeah. Hit start and it will find you your build. Bam. Very quick at 50. Yeah. See how quick that was? Like a second or something. 2 seconds. It's finding me options. What it's doing then is it's using the rest of the time to refine. And it's just refining stuff. But if you're happy with what you see, you can just click it and go. Yeah, you can just build it out. Now, if you're a premium user, you can click on skills. This is something I really enjoy. You can click on skills and it'd be like, right, my current build hits for these numbers. 47k on an A1, 70k on an A2, 115k on an A3. If you click it, it will tell you what those different abilities do. And it's also telling you what blessing you've currently got on in the bottom left here. Yeah. So when I hover over any of these builds, it's telling me what benefit I gain from the change. Yeah, so if I put this build on, I would gain a very small amount. Honestly, he's already got a very good build, but I would gain like a couple of % extra damage for my Cupidus build. And if I view it, it will show me where these items are coming from. So actually, this is an interesting one because this is something I should just do it, right? I should just 100% do it, even though it's only a couple of % change. The rest of the gear, Cupidus is wearing it all. Cupidus is wearing all of this gear. Obviously, I've got a new shield at some point along the way, and it just gives me more crit damage than what I've currently got. Another thing to be aware of is the strongest build will always be at the top, working its way down, especially if you've done damage. Yeah, so it's a top to bottom, but it might be that, this top build asked me to steal items from other champions, and when I looked at the second build, I didn't need to steal anything, so I might decide to use the second build if it was just like a minuscule difference. Yeah, so you can make those decisions, but it will give you a top 10 builds based on your criteria. Okay, so we're going to clear that and look at someone else. I'll show you a quick speed build, speed with accuracy type of build. So Arbiter is a good one to use. Optimize, reset everything I've done before. So for someone like Arbiter, we'll just go into balance mode. Balance mode gives us like 1 or 2 stats, remember. That's what we're kind of telling it to do. And I've already got a preset here from before. I literally just say, give me as much speed as possible. Don't select any sets or anything like that. You can do glyphs if you've got glyphs. Again, you might just be like, well, I can go up to +6 on my glyphs. Yeah, whatever you've got. Hit optimize, way more basic build, and it'll ping back. Bam, I could be at 386 speed on my Arbiter if I put my fastest gear on her. Yeah, bam, that's it. That used to be incredibly fast, by the way. Nowadays is nothing. Nowadays, I'm out of the race. But yeah, that's what you could do. If you've got someone else where you need speed and accuracy together, let's call out Warlord. Warlord's a champion that's good for this. You might be like, still balance mode, but in stats, we want to say fast, but with some good accuracy. Yeah? You could also, if there's a specific accuracy number you've got in your head, you could just be like fast, but give me a minimum of, I don't know, 500 accuracy. It will find the 500 accuracy first, and then it will give you the speed. For this type of build, you might actually tell it, I want stone skin, or I want whatever sort of set you want. If you just want accuracy or perception, just hit reset, let it do its own job. But if you want a specific set, that's when you put that in there. Hit optimize, bam, away we go. And it's going to be like, right, I found you your 500 accuracy almost on the nose, and that's the fastest you can be with 500 accuracy. If you didn't have a particular accuracy number in your head, you just wanted to kind of play around with it, I would advise you go just with the sliders. Yeah, in fact, let's move me a sec. Just with the sliders here. So, and you'd be like, which is a bigger priority for me, accuracy or speed? And let's say it's speed at the moment. Oh, hold on. Let's say speed is. So I've done speed +7, accuracy +5. And if you're thinking like stat priority here, I would say don't pick more than like 2 or 3. Yeah, you might don't be like, oh yeah, this is a 4, this is a 2, this is a 1. It actually doesn't help the optimizer out at all. Tell it the 2 stat priorities. If there's something else which is a stat priority in your head, perhaps just give it a +1. And then optimize. And what it's going to do is it's going to find me high accuracy with speed, and it will now find me some HP. Yeah, and it might be that you're like, whoa, hold on, actually, no. The HP needed to be more. The accuracy's gone way over the top. Let's just re-clear, start again, and see if this gives me a better balance. Oh, that's better. 80k with good speed and good accuracy. Yeah, so you can play around with that type of balance. Another one which is useful. So if I've got a tank, someone who's tanking up all of the damage. Yeah, a Surge is a good one. So for this one, reset everything. I want to go now in survival mode. Yeah, this is going to be my highest possible EHP, effective HP. What that means is it will give me the best balance of defense and HP to stay alive. Yeah, so in fact, with this one, there might be a particular set you want to use for this. Often there is. So for a Surge, I might say, you know, actually, I want to use Stone Skin. She might be in an arena build or something. And I want maybe 4 pieces of Stone Skin, or maybe even 6. Yeah, maybe 6. I could also, if I wanted to, by the way, select a type of accessory. So I could say, you know what, I want reaction gear on her as well. I want reaction gear on as well, and I want at least 2 pieces, yeah, for example. You might have to look in your account just to see how many you've got for stuff like that. But this is the build. We're now saying, give me as much effective HP as possible. I don't even need to fill out any stats because I don't care about anything else. But if you did care about accuracy as well, for example, then put that single one in there as a minimum and let the rest of it do its job. Yeah, this will take longer. Effective HP is always a slower find. Wasn't that slow, but it is actually always a slower find. And what it's doing here is it's finding the best balance. Similar to what I said about damage before, it will actually, if I hover over a build, it will tell me effective HP here on the left, what it is right now, 550k. It will tell me what this build will do to my effective HP. She's currently in Guardian gear. If I swapped her to full Stone Skin, it would reduce the effective HP, but obviously I've got Stone Skin, which is what I wanted. Yeah, I hit view, find out where it's sitting, and I could build her like that if I wanted to. One thing I've not said yet, the builds pop up here in the view. You still have to go in-game and equip those items. Yeah, it's just telling you what to find. It's telling you what pieces you want to use. But you still need to go and put them on. Yeah, you've got to go and do that bit. We can't do that bit for you yet. So even if you hit equip here, it's not equipping it in the game. It's equipping it in the optimizer. Because some people might want to be like, yeah, put that on her, lock her, and then I want to find the next stone skin build once all of that's been locked. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for kind of like types of optimization. I mean, there's loads you could do, obviously, but that's a good kind of showcase. The other thing we're just going to show quickly is Team Optimizer here. So, and it's really quite simple. So reset, start fresh, always a good button to use. I want to find the quickest Ice Golem team I can find for 25. Hit suggest team, and it defaults to fastest. Yeah, so the fastest team out there is actually this team. Funny enough, my actual team I use is very similar. No, this is my actual team I use. This one here. But you can see my success rate is not high. Yeah, in fact, this is my team. My success rate is not good. 85%. Yeah, so I should change it. I should. I just can't really be asked to. But I should change it because that success rate is not good enough. So I can actually tell the optimizer, pump me one that's got 100% success. Apply filter down the bottom. And it will find 100% team. So it'd be like, it's your same team, buddy, but they've got different stats to you. Yeah, so I could go into the details there and find out what I need to change personally to make my team a 100% team. We back up from there, We could look at something like, a rotation of Doom Tower. Now, this is not 3 different bosses for Doom Tower. It's 3 rotations as they're written in the game. We're currently on rotation Dark Fae. Within Dark Fae, though, you've got normal and hard, and then you've got all of the levels. So level 10 is Bommel. Level 20 is Board Off, yeah? Unfortunately, that's the way we read the game, so that's the way we replicate, but it's not necessarily easy for people to know that, unfortunately. So I could say, give me a team for level 10 Bommel, please. I can't beat it. Suggest team. Again, it'll default to fastest, but you might want to pump that success rate up to 100, apply the filter, and then you'll find yourself some team options. And it looks like some people are blowing it up with bombs in a quick time. Yeah, you could say, I definitely want War Mother in that team. She's the one I need. You could also say, let's move me out of the way again quick. You could also say, don't add any locked champions in my team. Make sure that everyone in my team is already 6-star and ascended, so that it's not throwing in a load of champions that are not. You could say, exclude. I do not want to see, I don't know, Baron, because I use him for something else. I don't want to change Baron's build. Exclude Baron, but include War Mother. Yeah, you could also say, give me one that's got a load of battles so that I know that it works over a long time. Yeah, that probably will kick us out, maybe. I don't know. Apply the filter. There you go. This is now our best options. And you can look in there and be like, can I achieve these speeds or not? Whoa, this CF is crazy quick. No, let's back up and find one where we don't need to find a crazy quick CF, and then away you go. Copy to Optimizer, and then you go about building out the champions yourself. As I say, if you are a premium user, you can go into full details, and it'll give you a full breakdown of everything about that champion, about their builds, about their masteries, the lot, their gear sets, all of it. Yeah, so you can do all of that in the Optimizer. But the Team Optimizer, I'd say, is one of the best tools to try and just find ways to improve stuff that you do on your account. And you know, some people say, I copied stuff from the Optimizer and it didn't improve my times. I don't know how. I honestly do not know how that's possible if you're doing this type of Team Optimizer stuff, because it's literally reading what other people are doing. It's not us making it up. It's reading what other people record in the game. Like right now, this dragon run, which I'm running over and over again to do this kind of dragon-specific tournament, this is a group of champions that I never use. Yeah, but because it's a specific tournament, it's recording these champions doing it over and over again. It will only record it if this is open. But if this is open, anyone who's using the Optimizer, we are recording information non-stop about your team performances, your times, all of that stuff. And is then allowing other Optimiser users the benefit of that information so that they can build better teams themselves. So look, there you go. Was I right? Was the Optimiser team build the best update of Raid ever? Or has there been something which has surpassed it this year? Let me know down below. And I guess watch out for January, where we're going to be bringing you some really cool stuff about your specific accounts, stats, best builds that we've seen on other champions. We're going to be using the Optimiser in a bunch of different ways to help you and your accounts. We're working on it, but it's going to be coming in the early new year. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you later.